Hey guys, Voxel Pro here with another rant. I saw this video on YouTube from Clever News, and I guess it was about this thing about, celebrities taking selfies, refusing to take selfies, and I felt like at the end of the video they asked, well, is it fair that these celebrities refuse to take selfies? And without hesitation, I'm like, yeah, it's fair. I mean, don't they got a right to their time just like we got a right to our time? You wouldn't want nobody shoving cameras in your face, while you're trying to do normal things. I mean, their life is constantly surrounded by a camera, a microphone, or whatever have you, and you want to just listen. This is the only piece that they have left in their lives. After going home at the end of the day, traveling to the set, getting pictures taken, traveling back to the from the set and taking pictures of, things like that. Why is that an issue? I don't see why the big debate, why the hullabaloo. I get it. In the public eye, it makes them look like, it's morning. So you probably hear birds chirping in the background. It's morning, like real early in the morning. Like be all it can be before 6 a.m. kind of morning. But I can't believe this is really a thing. I mean, in the age that we live in, these people are getting so smart. And hats off to them for thinking of a way to get people to restrict kind of technology from interfering with, a comedy show. You see, I've watched an interview with Chris Rock on Hot 97 on the Hot 97 YouTube channel, and he was talking about how where he went to there was a comedy club where he went when he was performing, that they had this thing to where they take all the people's devices and they put them into this bag, and until you get to the door, it won't unlock. So I mean, that's smart. It's very smart. It's a very smart thing. That way, they don't have to deal with, people taking their videos and taking videos of their specials or whatever, in person, and they don't have to, and they don't have to, and they still get to keep their devices, and it's just that it's being respectful towards them, and at the same time, you kind of, you get to enjoy the moment, right? Now, I say all this with a grain of salt. Why is that? Because I've never actually seen a celebrity in person. Not I think I saw the local news lady once, and then even then I didn't recognize her because, I don't watch the news. I know that sounds really bad, but the news is full of depressing stuff. That's why I don't watch it. Every time you hear something, somebody got shot, somebody died, somebody got their house broken into. Oh wait, there's a standoff with SWAT and this crazy guy who's holding two people and a dog and a cat hostage. I don't know. I just can't deal with it. I mean, I don't need more negativity that's how I keep my life stress-free. I don't watch the news. Watch weather reports. There's apps for that. Do that. But come on. It's just depressing. All of it's just depressing. You know, a teenager gets bullied, cyberbullied to suicide, you know. And it happens like if not every other week, every week, if not every other week or every week, then every month. You know, it's too much. It's too much. I don't want to deal with it. It's too much negativity. You know, you gotta deal with, you know, people getting beat up, people having standoffs with the cops, people then going on a mass shooting spree before turning the gun on themselves, and that's like the weirdest thing out of, like, I don't know where that comes from. I mean, you know, the weird people out there, you know. Now I get it. I get that when people who go on these shooting sprees and stuff like that are hurting and they're depressed, and, you know, for whatever reason, girls don't like them. In the case of that one dude who was like in his 20s, or like he was in college age, or, you know, and all he wanted was a woman. But it wasn't nothing to shoot up like his, like, you after that, like, because when you think about it, what does that solve? You know, all you did in that case was to say, you know, now that I'm not going to be now that I'm not going to be you know, have a, you know, a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, and you're hostile towards all women, and then you actively decide to shoot everybody, you forever, you know, instead of picking yourself up, trying to make sure you make the appropriate decisions of how you can, you know, might get into a relationship with one, that you forever ruined your chance by forever, like, shooting up people. I mean, like, I mean, how would this narrative have gone if he didn't end up committing suicide? Because, you know, so, I mean, he would have gone to jail. He'd probably been sentenced to death, if not, you know, if not given life in prison. You know? Because at this time, I'm pretty sure he was a major. What I mean by major, I mean it was a pun. I don't think it went really well, but it was supposed to mean that he was the opposite of a minor. That was the only joke that I could think of. I'm sorry. That means that he was older. He was at least 18 and older. You know. So let's just pretend for a second that the law somehow changed, you know, to say, we understand your pain. Shooting these women were wrong, but we understand your pain, and for that we're giving you like 10 years. You know? So let's just say, I don't remember what age he was, but let's just say he was like 21, 22. Something like that. And you got to keep in mind, I think this happened some years ago. So he gets 10 years. At the end of his 10 years, he's 32. He's still kind of in his prime, you know, age-wise, you know, physically he's on a downward slope, I guess, in terms of athletic ability. I don't know. But, you know, he comes out of jail. He says, oh, well, I want to change my life. You know. He goes and he dates a woman. And then, they enter their first date, and he's trying to be upfront and honest, and, he's trying to be upfront, you know, saying, hey, I had some trouble you know, I really liked meeting you, and then, you know, they date a few months down the line. You know, a couple more dates, few more dates, I don't know, 2, 3, 5, 10, you pick the number to where you think it's a significant amount of time for them to start trusting in one another with their past, you know, whatever that mutual trust is, right? And he says, listen, I have something to tell you. Remember that time that I told you I got put in jail, and if, you know, I went to jail, and if if we dated down the line, and if you would give me a chance, I would explain myself of what I got and put in jail for, and then she would say yes, and then I would be like, and then he would be like, here's the story. When I was in my early 20s, I was a lonely guy, and every girl that I went up to made fun of me, and it didn't make me feel particularly great. For some reason, and I know how this is gonna sound, but it caused me to have a slight mental breakdown. And I did use excessive amounts of violence to handle my problems, and I'm not saying I was right for that, and I'm not taking back I'm not trying to excuse what I did, but I'm just trying to tell you what actually happened. So now she's invested, right? So now the woman that he's dating is listening to this, and then she has to know a little bit more because she has hope for him and hope that he's changed, and that's what he's telling her is like, I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I'm trying to do better, and I'm trying to make my life better, and he's explaining all this to her, right? And I'm not saying that he's lying, and I'm not saying that, you know, that she's foolish for thinking this way. I think anybody who's, you got to be on your guard. Like, I don't know what the appropriate, each person has to make their own decision when it comes to stuff like this. So he's telling her all this, and then she actively decides to, say, I'm sorry, I can't deal with this. You shot and you killed people. I'm sorry. I can't be with somebody who has hurt people, who has killed people, who has taken other people's lives. And and at that moment, you almost feel sorry for the guy, because I was like, when you see that junk in a movie, when you see something like that in the movie, he's like, this dude's story. You see his side of the story, and you feel bad for him, and you're like, oh, well, I'm willing to take a chance on him. Dude, no, you wouldn't, because that's not how it works in real life. You don't know people's background. You only know what they're telling you up front. If you knew everything about a person and how they thought and how they changed, where they were from, and how they got to where they're at mentally and personality wise, then people would be given a lot of people's chances, a lot more chances, and they would be more intuitive about how they pick their people to do certain stuff, whether that's a relationship or employee or something like that, and you try to buy into it. But you give them a chance if they're a fictional character, because you know their backstory and you know all that they went through. But in real life, you don't really actually give them a chance, because you got to be on guard, because you could instantly become that cautionary tale that says, oh shoot, I gave that murderer a chance. Next thing I know, I'm 6 feet deep. I don't think I can deal with that. I'm just saying. Listen, I don't know. My point is to all this that I think when it comes to when I got off on a tangent of going to, you know, without hesitation, is it fair that celebrities get to deny the right to take selfies with other things? Yes, it is completely fair. It is completely fair that they deny that, you know, for the sake of their sanity. For the sake of their sanity, not yours. What are you? You just a blip on the radar to them. At the end of the day, you know, what does that amount to? You know, you take a picture for 1 second, but at the end of the day, you can get pictures from any celebrity on Google Images. I just don't see the point. I mean, I can understand if you're taking a picture with the celebrity and it's like for a charity event. You know, you're promoting a charity, you're promoting some type of program, assistance program or something like that, some well-being, ethical program, government assistance program, charity, something, disease, something like that. Then I understand then. But, you know, but sometimes they just want a day off. Man, we want a day off and we don't even do nothing. we don't even have the stress like that. You know, I could say, you know, everybody thinks their job is so rosy and everything, and I'm like, I get it. The money's nice. The money's nice, but the fame ain't. The fame is like a green-eyed beast. It's a green-eyed beast. And it's got horns. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just saying that it's more harsher than you think. You know? I don't know, I fully support them in saying, oh, well, do you want a picture or, you know, autographs. I can understand autographs a little bit more, but, you know, when they just relaxing on the beach and they got their significant other, don't mess up their good time. You know what? You know what would be nice, though? You know what would be nice? If it's like, people should treat like major movie actors and actresses and all those people, they should treat them exactly like voice actors and actresses and stuff like that. You know, you don't run up to Chris Sabat on the street. But that's mostly because you don't, by large, you don't know who he is. But some of you do. For anybody who's an anime fan, you know him, right? But you ain't just gonna like walk up on the street and then just like, hey, can I take? He ain't gonna be mobbed like, I don't know, like Chris Pratt is gonna be mobbed. He ain't gonna be mobbed like on the same level that Beyonce is gonna be mobbed, or that, you know, that somebody else, Will Smith, is gonna be mobbed, or Jackie Chan, or you know, it's just not gonna happen. So what I think, and this is what I think. This is what I truly think. I think, what if there was a day to where, you know, what if there was like a week or 2 weeks to where, for like photographers, for major news sites, and even like just like Respect, you know, saying this is their week off. They're not doing interviews this week. They're not getting their pictures taken this week. But all next week is open season. You know, they're going to come to the convention. They're going to answer your questions. You know, just like the voice actor and actresses, you know, they're going to answer all your questions. They're not going to go on Twitter, you know, for like a week. They're not going to get their pictures taken from photographers for like a week. You know, not the people hiding in the bushes outside their house, you know, looking like something that came out of an axe murderer movie. Not the people that's hiding in their cars in the back of their trunks and stuff like that, looking like something out of The Godfather or something like that. You know, just a week off. Who doesn't need a week off? They need a week off. Even when on their breaks they're working because they too busy running. I don't see how I honestly don't see how there's any how there's supposed to be some, I'm not gonna say that. I don't see I was gonna say something else, but I'll say it this way. I don't see how there's any unhealthy people in Hollywood. They're too busy running from the cameras all the time. They don't want their pictures taken. They gotta wear so many disguises that they're sweating their wigs out. Maybe they listen. Maybe one of the women that's perceived to be, excuse me. Maybe that's maybe like for a week, just the famous women of artistry, theater, whatever, theater, Hollywood, Bollywood, I don't care, music, during that week to where the photographers ain't supposed to wear, to take pictures of them. Maybe they just don't wear makeup, okay? How about that? Maybe they just go outside, walk their dogs, citizens, just agree to say hi, hi, hello, how are you doing? Short, 2, 3, 4 sentence back and forth conversation. That's it. Let them move on with their day. I get it. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. You don't want to be now. I'd say I understand where the people are coming from. When are you ever going to get a chance like that again? Well, if you live close by, you actually got a significant chance. I mean, maybe they just want to enjoy a football game and a corn dog, okay? Maybe they just want a little. Listen, don't hold the dipping sauce hostage because you want a picture. And I find that highly treasonable. Come on. Let me get it. Hey, I ain't never seen, maybe I'm in a weird position because I ain't never seen I will admit, I'm a little bit biased on this because I ain't never seen nobody that's took my breath away, in terms of I mean, I don't think I would be like that with athletes and stuff like that, I just, athletes, actresses, well, I don't know. I mean, no, I can't even do that. Realistically, I know myself, and I can say that without bias. The reason why I can say that without bias is because even in my, okay, take for example, I want to talk to some, like Nina Dobrev, okay? Now, she's older than me, okay? Now, she's a nice looking lady, okay? And yes, had I had the opportunity and I had the personality, I would definitely, date her. I think, but even just the thought of crossing paths with somebody who looks relatively like her, just it doesn't go well for me. It just doesn't. I don't perceive that as being it's not an ideal situation. I don't have that type of outgoing personality. Oh, that's the other thing I want to mention. I'm getting too long with this. I'm gonna break this up. I'm gonna see you guys in the next part.